This is Grimalt against Alvaro and Simon. Haha, not Simon. Kidding. That's Ricardo. That is the great Ricardo Santos. Also known as Ricardo. Also known as, you don't need my last name. Don't worry about it. All right, here we go. It's first serve of the game in this main draw match. Match number 1. This Las Vegas, Nevada. It's actually very pretty weather. About 60s. Jason DeBeas courtside. Alvaro set out of the inside. Ricardo looked like he was expecting something a little bit more outside, and that's the first point of the game. We're in business. Pretty good pass. Grimalt. What nice jump in by Ricardo, and that is 2-0. Nice little 4-block. Showed him cross court, took it away. What's the 4-block switch, you may ask? 4-block is when you show someone line and you jump into the cross, and the defender makes a last-minute switch from defending cross court to line. Finally on the board is Grimalt, and the score is now 1-2. It's a pretty good block, and now they even the score. Now the score is 2 apiece. Grimalt against Ricardo. We are here at court 5. I'm going to be covering court 5 the entire day. Once again, Jason DeBeas. Ball's out of bounds. The score is now 3-2. Looks more like a feeling out process for these teams who have, I'm 100% sure, played each other multiple times. Cross court, drops his shoulder, just shaves the pits of Grimalt. That is Alvaro. Oh. Ricardo with the serve. Ricardo's got a pretty good jump floater. Pretty energy efficient. One of the guys that has to go to the net and block as well. So it's one of those things where he knows he's going to get served. So energy efficiency is the key, especially for an FIVB tournament this long. The switch is 4-3 in favor of the Chileans. Once again, Grimalt out of Chile. Ricardo and Alvaro out of Brazil. Got a jump serve coming. Toss out of the middle, handled okay by Alvaro. Set out of the middle, and wow, good timing on that. Penetration was a little bit early, caught him on the way back. And now the score is 4-4. The score is now 5-4. I'm actually going to go Facebook Live on this. Wow, there's a cut that goes up and down that you never see Alvaro give up, but I guess there was a pretty good disguise there, and turning lemons into lemonade is Grimalt, and now the score is 5-5. I guess the question is, when is this filling out process going to end, and one of the true teams going to pull away? Ball on the tape, recovered nicely. There's a set out of the middle. Alvaro with a nice swing, heavy impact. Transition, cross court, Doug. Who's gonna blink? Ricardo beats the I formation, reverses field. Now the score is 6-5. Who else is here? Another one of those balls that you find yourself penetrating a little too early, and on your end penetration just falls on your side of the net, and Ricardo kicking himself in the pants on that one. He'd love to have that one back. Score is 6-6. What's up, man? Right into my living room comes the serve, and now the score is 7-6. One for the switch. Ball retrieve by yours truly, and run back. One for the switch, a little bit of a jump floater handle, okay. Up and down set, referee calls a double hit, and there is the first 2-point advantage of the game. The score is now 8-6 for the Brazilians. There's a side out, and now first point off the switch goes to Marco Grimalt. Marco, the big blocker, serving 7-8. A little bit of a whale on that, and turning lemons into lemonade is Alvaro. And Ricardo thanks him the way he knows how, and now the score is 9-7. And Ricardo with the serve. Half top spin, half float, and this little back set by Esteban. And now the score is 8-9. Score's 9 up. Stay with me. I'm actually trying to put this up on NY Varsity. What are you doing? Let's do Grimalt and Grimalt.
Dale, Esteban, al otro sale, vamos. Vamos, no importa, estamos ahí, vamos.
Alvaro. Score is 11-10. We're at the technical timeout. It's going to take a short break. On me, I need a one dance. Got the Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. All right, we're back from the technical timeout. This is the first set. This is Chile against Brazil. That's Grimalt and Grimalt, the brothers Grimalt. Hitting the ball is the lefty Alvaro, and his partner, making a statement as always, is the great Ricardo. His last name is Santos, but it doesn't matter what his last name is. Jason DeBiz courtside, beautiful, sunny, somewhat gorgeous Las Vegas, Nevada. This place looks different in the morning than it does at night, but for anyone that's been here before, they know what I'm talking about. Another one, beautiful deflection, and on a roll is Ricardo creating the wall. And timeout is called, their first timeout of the set. Putting up the block party is Mr. Santos. It's a lot of fun having Ricardo be on the domestic tour for the AVP. For a little while he was playing with Reed Pretty, which really good out there, and then came Chalk. Made a trail level of the semifinals. Excuse me. So this is platform 1440. This is not just a volleyball tournament. This is a health and wellness thing. This is a festival. This is a party in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm glad to be here. I wonder if I can do a share. There we go. Set out of the middle. Grimalt up and down. Alvaro almost got there, and he knows that's a ball he can have. That's an up and down off of that that roll shot, if you will. And Ricardo in his mind still trying to reach it. I think half of it is you got to get that Alvaro, and the other half is I got to get that too. And doing the giddy up is Alvaro on that dance, and now the score is 14-11. 3-1 off the technical timeout. Go the Brazilians. Serve out of the middle. There's a decent pass, back set, and nice patience by Alvaro. Alvaro on transition. The lefty gets his touch. That's a real point. Now the score is 15-11. Trying to stop the momentum a little bit are the Chileans.
Vamos chicos, a rotar, dale.
once again, thank you for joining me. This is beautiful. It's sunny. It's gorgeous. It's another serve out of the middle because they know he's going to go back set, and going across his body. Beats the I formation on that is Esteban. Grimalt. His partner, his brother, the big blocker. That's Marco Grimalt. Nice serve out of position one. Barely recovered by Alvaro. Alvaro gets a touch he wants. He's on fire right now. It's 3 for 3 in those kills.
Dale, Santos, lo tienes. Vamos, ahora sí, dale.
Outside set, there's a shoot and
Buenísimo.
almost an
Muy bien, Esteban,
shades of an
muy
indoor
bien.
play, if you will. Pretty good hands by Marcos. And to say that they have a little bit of chemistry would be an understatement. There's the jump serve, moderate toss. Pretty much no wind here. I'll give you a little Old Glory flag direction in a minute. Alvaro drops his shoulder again, goes cross court, and now the score is 17 to 13. Alvaro with a jump floater, and that one goes out of the middle again. Pumped on the up and down goes that roll shot, and there's a free ball opportunity. There's an outside set, shoot. Ricardo has to make a decision on that. Ricardo, who originally looked like he wanted to just block cross. Had to pick his poison, and he did. Now the score is 14 to 17. Here's the serve, hits the top of the tape. That's the third one. Alvaro covered, and jumping into the cross a little bit on that is Marco, and Alvaro drops his shoulder and shaves the hair right off his armpits, and the score is 18 to 14. A little bit of a momentum. The key components to this game, or the key plays in this game, I believe, are the 3 blocks by Ricardo. There's a little net violation, and that ball is in anyway, so shot counts and the foul. I can imagine being someone in the qualifier in New York City and then thinking, you know, there's 4 spots, but there's not a lot of competition out here. I can qualify, just to find out that Ricardo is in the qualifier too. That's what happened a couple of years ago. And you're like, you gotta be kidding. I gotta play him in a qualifier match? You gotta be kidding. That score is 19-15. I don't remember who he played with to qualify, but they were good enough to beat Dahlhauser and Lucena once they made the main draw. So they made the main draw and knocked the multiple-time AVP champs out of the winner's bracket. They had a good day, but at the same time ruined everybody else's day. That ball was in, and Alvaro played the Matrix game, hoping that ball went out, but hope is a 4-letter word, and now the switch is 16 to 19. The Brazilians 2 points away, securing this first round pool play matchup against the Chileans. Jump floater by Marco. That's not a very good pass, but once again turning lemons into lemonade is Alvaro, and Ricardo responds. Great court vision. Sees the entire court and waits as long as he can. A little bit of a late jump, and the reach, of course, is incredibly high. There's a ball that's actually, speaking of high reach, that's Esteban. Grimalt reaching over the top on that. Oh, above the dig, and Alvaro just has to make a decision. I think it's one of those things you have to go all the way.
My fault, so sorry.
Score is 17-20, set point opportunity number 2. Looking for the up and down set, sky ball if you will, and Ricardo finishes in emphatic fashion. Winners of the first set, 21-17. Alvaro and Ricardo. Take a look around. These are the faithful who have arrived early. That is court number.
Vamos Chile, dale, 0, vamos. Apoya. Buenísimo, bien
There it
chico,
is.
dale.
Cut shot past the outstretched hand of Ricardo in the first point of the game. Striking first blood are the Chileans. Esteban. Grimalt. He's got a pretty decent jump serve. Will he do it? Involves a little bit of a carry. And Alvaro states his mild objection, but it is what it is. Now the score is 2-0. Two evenly matched teams. Mike's the deal. Thanks for joining me. Tell your friends. This is court 5. I'm going to be covering court 5 the entire tournament. Leaving him a little bit of line on that cutback, and which is more than enough. And plowing through it like with a tank is Ricardo. So we're in the middle of the second set. What does Ricardo and Alvaro have to do with to win this game? I think they just have to stay patient and keep doing the things that they're doing, because everything they're doing wins. Eventually, you know, Ricardo's a very streaky blocker, and I think he'll probably get 2 or 3 more in this set. And just take care of the little things, and they'll win by 4 points. By that rationale, what does Grimalt and Grimalt have to do to win this game? I'd like them to be a little bit more competitive with their serve. I mean, even at the open level, there's levels to this esh. So it's one of those things where, well, I guess at every level, right? And serve and serve receive is the story of the game. As Marco goes on 2 on that one, the score is 4-2, 1 point for the switch. Yeah, so it's one of those things where I believe Ricardo and Alvaro have done some things out of system and still scored points, but it's not something that I see them doing for an entire match with a heightened level of success. Some nice high reach. There's a tweener on the hands, and there's your switch. Ricardo and Alvaro trail by 1. The score is 3-4. Creating his string out of the middle. That ball's dug. Point opportunity looking for 4. Alvaro, wrist away, wrist away, wrist away. We have a tie game. Mikasa's the official ball of F5VB and platform. It's one of these. Listen, it's one of these balls. Like if you don't practice with it, it can mess with you. And I'll tell you how. Well, first of all, I'll tell you about the easy part. Setting it is the easiest ball to set. Hand setting that ball is the easiest thing in the world. You can literally double it and it'll still come out clean. I also believe serve receive it's pretty good. It's a light ball. It's easier on your shoulder, but something that this ball. Wow, there's a nice cut back by Ricardo, but something that this ball does, it keeps you completely honest about your jump serve, and it keeps you completely honest about your swing. It's one of those things where, like, if you miss a little bit, it hits. If it doesn't hit this, you don't follow through with your wrist and really grasp it, it flies. It's like a 99 Luft balloons. Taking the elevator up are both Marco and Ricardo, but in Ricardo's case, seems like his penthouse is a little higher on that. There's a true point I was talking about. One of the 2 or 3 blocks I think Ricardo's going to get in this set. Outside set, and nice release by Esteban. Now the score is 6-6. Kind of similar to the first set. Serve out of the middle. Left shoulder serve to a lefty, and he makes them pay. Score is 7-6. Ricardo with the serve. Serve out of the middle, back set. Wow. And that's one of those things that hit the left side of his hand, and it just flew. There's really no margin for error with that ball. For Wilson, you're going to have a little bit of your miss. Again, I mean, if you have good reach, high reach is just high reach, and gravity's going to win with the Wilson. The Spalding, I mean, forget it. That's a ball, like, even if you miss, you can't miss. It's drop friendly, it's player friendly, and this ball is too. You just got to take care of the hit and the jump serve a little bit better. The score is 7-8. It's very, very similar to the first set. So it was an 8-6 switch. Marco with the serve. Will he go to Ricardo again? You better believe it. No, this time he goes to Alvaro. That time a right shoulder serve. Alvaro right into our living room. Right up the middle. That's where you want to go when the block is pulling. Some of you guys at home watching this, I always say go middle on the blocker's pull, because at some point someone has to come in and defend it, and whoever comes in to cover middle is going to tell you a lot about how they're going to play defense in this game of inches of beach volleyball. Nice trans play, and now the score is 8-9. Esteban, Grimalt, the younger brother of the brothers Grimalt. Nice patience and nice disguise by Ricardo. He needs to do something about his shades. He hates to cut off his own momentum. He's trying to get back there and serve as fast as he can. Scores now, I believe, 10-8. I think that 11-7 score on the scoreboard is wrong. Back set. There's a tip, and Ricardo landed fast enough, and it's one of those things where height-wise and just timing on that, only perfection's gonna let that ball drop in this game, this heightened level game of where the margin for error is so small. Right shoulder serve handled okay. Alvaro goes split inseam, handled easily, beats the I don't even know what that was. That was almost like a piggyback. Blocker moving into the cross, and the defender also moving into the cross. Well, for all intents and purposes, call that a stunt. It's an outside set, and that's off the outstretched left hand of Ricardo. And now we're at the technical timeout, and similar to the first set, it's 10-11. Forgive me if the camera's shaky a little bit, or have a tripod that's supposed to hold this thing. But I have a real camera that's taking care of that business for later on.
There's a hole right there, right where a ball marker would probably be. On this side. Halfway up? Yeah. Just that one there. Perfect. That'll be Murphy's Law, that one. That's the hitting.
We're back from the technical timeout. Score is 10-11 in favor of the Brazilians. Once again, if you just joined me, thank you for joining me. We're at Court 5. This is Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Platform 1440. It's Team Chile against Team Brazil. Those are the brothers Grimalt, and that guy on the left needs no introduction. That is Ricardo, and his partner is the fast, speedy lefty. That's Alvaro. Pretty good pass. Outside set, Alvaro. Good wrist away on his cross court. Striking first blood after the technical timeout of the Brazilians. Put a little bit of a low set and a little bit of a miss hit again. This time by Esteban. Now the score is 13-10.
Ricardo right here.
This game goes how I think it is. I think this score is going to be similar.
Buenísimo.
There's a side out. The score is 11-13.
Fuerte, vamos, fuerte.
This time they're deciding to work Alvaro. Set 2, that's their adjustment, and they're doing all the right things. They're working his right shoulder. They're hoping if Alvaro doesn't take care of it, that he can, some of those passes will be shot. Ricardo, a very good bump setter as well as a good hand setter. I think it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. So whatever margin for error they're looking for is going to have to be a little, maybe the serve's just going to have to be a little bit more competitive, and they're just going to have to take chances. Score is now 12-13. 1 point game. That's a little bit of a shot pass, but handled okay, and with incredible range on the cross court. is Alvaro again. It's one of those guys you block cross, and his challenge shot is just really, really good.
Vamos Chile, estamos ahí, va corta.
Alvaro with the jump serve down to position 1 and cross court dug, covered, and losing the joust on net, covered. A little bit of a desperation down ball, free ball, and making them pay onto is Ricardo. Score is now 15-12, and last time they were down by 3, they called timeout, and it looks like they're going to do the same thing. Timeout for the Chileans. You're allowed 1 timeout per set. This 2 out of 3 match. The third set is, if there's a third set, the third set is a 15. Got to win by 2. Unlike the AVP, there is no scoring freeze. Guys who are listening to this on YouTube or on my Facebook Live page, send me your thoughts about we're in the 2nd season with the AVP with a scoring freeze. Actually, it started in Chicago, 2017, perhaps. No, it's Chicago 2016. We're nearing into the 2nd year of the scoring freeze in the AVP, and I'd like for you guys to share your thoughts about how you feel about it. Some people says it's exciting. I talked to a lot of the professionals. Madison McKibben, one of the AVP upper qualifier, now main draw guy, he told me basically that he likes the grind. My guess is Ricardo hates it. I've physically witnessed him being up 20 to match point 15 second set, and that ball goes just past his left hand. I've seen him in a match in San Francisco, the AVP semifinals, played with Reed Pretty. He was up 20 to 15 the second set, match point. The scoring freeze allowed Stafford, Slick, and Billy Allen to come back. And then the second time they were up 14-11 in the third set, and the scoring freeze allowed them to come back, and Ricardo lost the second and third set. So I think if anyone might have mixed feelings about it, I can't speak for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he said he's not a fan. Jump floater, up and down set. No, an outside set, and Ricardo with another block. That's his 2nd block of the set. I believe that's block number 6 for the match. Jump floater, they go back to Marco, back set. Marco, that ball is in, and that's block number 3 for the set, and that's exactly how I called it. The score is now 18-13. Once again, Ricardo, a very streaky blocker. On his best day, a dominant blocker. On his worst day, a streaky blocker. So we'll call him streaky now, even though it's far from his worst day. And another serve, they're going back to Marco. Marco on his 3rd attempt. That time, challenges, beats the cross. Score is 14, serving 18. Wow, beautiful cover. There's a free ball opportunity. The Brazilians on the attack, looking for 19. Ricardo, man, got a little too cute. Might have been a moment of hesitation, and sometimes that's all you need to just miss. And surviving that play on a great defensive series are the Chileans, and we are 15-18. There's a touch, and no touch. He knows. He called. Yeah. He called. Score is 19-15. Good call of sportsmanship by Marco, and almost a bit of a surprise by Ricardo, who's, you know, many of these the players, particularly the younger players, basically they don't leave it up to their responsibility to call their own touches on the block. Serve out of the middle, set out of the middle, up and down, Alvaro, up and down. Straight down on the wrist away, close to the outside part of the 10-foot line, if you will. It's match point opportunity number 1. The score is 20-16. How'd you guys do? Yeah, they, those guys can catch fire, coach. Ricardo, it's the left side of his hand. And there's a whoopsie if we ever saw one. And surviving at least for one more point of the Chileans, and Marco with the serve. Marco serves straight at Alvaro. Up and down, Alvaro with the finish, and man, if he hits like that for the entire tournament, we might be looking at winners as the Brazilians win 2-0. Identical, 21-17, 21-17.
How's it going, my friend?
What's up, man?
How are you? Good
I remember
to see
you
again.
Yeah, having a good times, right? I gotta zoom in on this guy. This is the other guy that makes it happen.
From Brazil. Keep watching this guy.
Yes, sir.
I love beach volleyball. I know that.
My man, thank you. For all of you at home, at least for now, Jason DeBay is so long.